Hi everybody, it's Claire from Handmade at Hudson's and thank you very much for pressing play on the video today. So today's video is to show you how to make these gorgeous, simple masculine cards, although they can be made into feminine cards. And so sit back, relax, grab a cup of tea or coffee, or you can craft along if you want, and I will turn you around and we'll get into how to make them. So these are the cards that I showed you in the introduction, and these are another version of the cards that I've already made. My filming went a bit doolally. And so these are Sahara Hand Sand and Nighted Navy with the In Good Taste paper, and this is Smoky Slate with Basic Grey and the In Good Taste paper. So today we're going to make another Smoky Slate Basic Grey version, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So I'm going to move these out of the way, and I'm going to wreck the background as well while I'm at it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is to bring in my ink and stamp. So I've got my ink, my Looking Up stamp and my tailored tag punch, and I am going to bring in my scrap of Basic Grey, and I am going to simply just cut two of the tags out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in one of my layers, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to gut this, and I'm actually going to use it as a backing. So I'm just going to go straight into the centre of the card and cut it out. Now it's up to you whether you stamp then punch or punch then stamp. I personally prefer to punch then stamp, especially with something that's straight like Happy Birthday. I find that easier. So I have finished my stamp punch. I'm just going to put it to one side. So I've got my Happy Birthday stamp, I've got my grey, Basic Grey ink. I'm simply going to ink that up. Then I'm going to check how it's stamping, which is fine. And then I'm going to line up my tag. And then you're just holding for 20 so that all the ink settles onto the paper card. Happy birthday. And of course, if it goes wrong, you can turn it over, and if it goes wrong again, you have another 2 layers here which you can use. So all the sizes and measurements and what I've used are linked on my blog, and they're also linked into a ingredients video below. So we have got our toppers and we've got our stamping. So I am going to take some dots and just add some to the side, and then I'm just going to layer that together. So given the shape, it can be difficult to actually have a streamlined border or the same size all the way around. So just put it where you think looks okay. And I bet I've put that on the wrong end. I have. Oops. That'll be alright. I'll move that in a minute. And then so I'm just adding glue to the back, sticking this down, and then we have 2 toppers. Right, so my next thing I'm going to do is take my card bases. I'm going to fold them in half. I'm going to take my stamp out of the way actually, because I know I'm going to make that go everywhere. I am going to just burnish my edges so that it stays flattish. And again, I'm going to burnish this one. So those are my card bases, like so. And then I'm going to bring in my designer series paper. So my designer series paper is 8 by 12 centimeters, and then I have got some strips of Basic Grey, which are 1/2 centimeter, and I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of these strips. So this is why I like dotted adhesive, because the dotted adhesive doesn't tend to go around, it tends to just stick where you put it. So it's quite good for detailed I'm just going to line this up using my grid. It's good for detailed dies. Do you know, like hello and happy birthday? Because it only sticks to the bits where it touches rather than all of it. And that didn't work very well. So I'm just going to lift that up. Oh, it still hasn't worked very well. Put that in a straight line like so. And then I'm going to take my scissors, which are covered in gilding flakes, just snip the edges. So I tend to snip from the back, but that does get me into trouble sometimes when I snip too much off the front. So that's one. And then we're going to do the same with the second one. So I am just going to add some of this tape. So I think I got this from the range. It's just a dotted, I'm going to make that a little different. It's just a dotted adhesive roller. And I find that it makes my crafting less messy, because I am probably the messiest crafter you have ever met. And I also tend to go off-piste quite regularly as well. My upline thinks it's hilarious. If you give me a project, I'll change it slightly. So I'm just going to cut the sides off. So as I said, I'm using the In Good Taste paper, but you could use any papers that you wish to. And I think it's quite an interesting set in terms of masculine and feminine. So I am going to layer these up. So this is so this piece of DSP is 12 by 8 centimeters, and the piece of smoky slate is 12.5 by 8.5, and I'm going to layer this one up as well. So I've got the next one. And it's quite an easy card to make multiples of at the same time. So I'm just making 2, but it could easily be 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Just do them in batches. And I'm still moving this around. So this is why I like wet glue, because I'm using Tombow, because it gives me some wiggle room. So there we have our 2 tops. And I'm going to add these to my card bases. So I'm just adding glue around the edges, she says. Don't want it squeezing out. So I'm just adding glue around the edges and in the centre. And again, just adding glue around the edges and then in the centre. I'm just going to use the grid lines to line up like so. Okay, so that's the front nearly done. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add one of my toppers with glue, and I put too much glue on then, like, and just add to your card, and then we have the front of the card finished. And then if I just put that there for a second, the second card I'm going to make a vertical greeting, and I'm going to take my dimensionals and I'm going to take my greeting and I'm going to add lots of different dimensionals. Ooh, she says. So I don't want it to have a saggy middle. So I'm going to take my dimensionals off, and this backing goes everywhere. You'll find it in your hair, on your clothes, on the dog. Yes, my black Labradors do wander around with dimensionals on their back. So I'm just going to add that bit there. So we have our second one finished. So for the inside, we're going to take, oh, I'm going to put that on there. So for the inside, we're going to take our bits that we've taken and gutted, and we're going to take the 2 pieces of Whisper White. So these are 8 by 12 again, and the layer is 12.5 by 8.5, but everything's on my blog and on the ingredients video. And I have got a piece of the designer series paper, and that is just 1/2 centimetre, and I'm going to add that at the bottom. So the best way to do that again is using the tool, sorry, it's using the dotted adhesive. And I'm going to just turn that round. I'm just going to line that up as best as I can. Actually, I'm going to do this one. So you just want to try and line it up with the bottom and just keep on going. And then turn it over and have a look, and that's not too bad actually. Okay. And then I've got another piece which is 1/2 centimetre. Me and adhesive don't necessarily go together, and I've now stuck it. Oh, sorted. Oops. Should really bring in an extra sheet of paper so I don't keep sticking everything to everything. So you could use your grid paper again to line that up. So I'm trying to line up with the bottom of the card, like so. And then if you turn it over, it doesn't look too bad. So then I'm going to add adhesive to my card. I'm going to add it to my layer, like so. And I'm just going to move where I need to. And then I am going to add more glue. And I'm going to add into my card. So this one, I'm going to put this here. And then just add into my inside. And that's why I love the, and I'm sorry, I've just found adhesive down the side. So just rub off lightly. I love the Tombow because it gives you some wiggle room, like so. Ooh, I'm stuck to the bottom again. It's alright, I'll get it off in a minute. And then I'm just going to do the same on this side. Add some Tombow. Line it up. Whoops. And then add to the bottom. So just adding to the inside. So I'm going to clean this up. So there you go. 2 quite quick, quite fast, simple masculine cards that you can use for birthday cards. You can make thank you cards, anything, any of the sentiments from the Looking Up kit. So here you go. I've got these ones that I could use as well. So feel better soon. Thanks so much. I'm so thankful for you, and I hear congratulations on order. So you could use any of those for these cards, and then these are the originals. So I might just move these here. And I have to say, actually, I think this one is my favourite. So these are the male versions, and of course you can use it for female versions as well. So I will take these out and then I will bring some different alternatives in. So this is my first example of the feminine version. So I'm using the In Good Taste papers again, and I'm using Rococo Rose, and actually the pink in the for the layer and also for the label isn't the pink that is in the papers. It's actually Brushing Bride rather than Petal Pink, because I thought it looked better. And I've used a Timeless label punch and added it on to dimensionals, and I think that looks quite nice. And then I've gone for Happy Birthday on the inside but no piece of paper. And then my next female version or feminine version is this one, and I've gone for Whisper White with Rococo Rose again, and I have used a ribbon, the dotted tulle ribbon, instead of using a piece of paper on this one. And on the inside I've gone for the layers again, which I think is quite pretty. So of course you don't have to use Designer Series paper. So for this one I have gone for the Beautiful Friendship stamp and just stamped it in Highland Heather, and then I have added a Gorgeous Grape layer with Whisper White, and then I've got a Gorgeous Grape strip of paper in the middle, and then on the inside I have stamped the Beautiful Friendship stamp again, and I've added the layers in. So this is Highland Heather. And then my last card, which was based on these, but it's actually my Father's Day card from my dad, is this one. So I have used the All Geared Up stamp set, and I have used basic grey and grey granite with a strip of grey granite across here, and then I've layered up the Happy Father's Day. So I cut the I fussy cut this, although you can use a die, and I've cut around the stamped image to give a layer, and I think that looks quite pretty. And then I've just added stamps on the background. So this is my own created DSP using the oil spill and the nuts, and then inside I've got the nuts as well. So those are other options for this card, and this was actually my original, and this is just white with stripes, and this was based on a card that I saw on Pinterest but with stars on, and I thought that was quite pretty, and that's just white on the inside. So those small ways that you can use this layout to create gorgeous cards. So if you've got any questions, please you can contact me. My email is linked in below. It's claire@handmadeathudsons.co.uk. You can find me on the Tinterweb, handmadeathudsons.co.uk. You can find me on Facebook, Handmade at Hudsons. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down, but please let me know why. And if you subscribe to my channel, you'll be notified when I release a video. I am not sticking to specific days as that doesn't suit me, but I will try and post as regularly as possible. Thank you very much for pressing play on the video, and I hope to speak to you soon. Bye.